Okay, we're back in our Bible study series, John or Lazarus, who wrote the fourth gospel. This is episode 6, Woman, Behold Your Son. So here's our text here. This is Jesus at the cross. It says, when Jesus therefore saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing by, he said to his mother, Woman, behold your son. Then he said to the disciple, Behold your mother. And from that hour, that disciple took her to his own home. So that was at the cross, but standing afar off, Matthew tells us there were many women there beholding afar off, which followed Jesus from Galilee, ministering unto him, among which was Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. Keep that in mind as well. Mark tells us there were also women looking on from afar. Luke tells us all his acquaintances and the women that followed him from Galilee stood afar off, beholding these things. Note that there is no mention of any of the 12 disciples being present at the cross or even standing afar off. And why was that? That's because this was fulfillment of prophecy. They were not to be there. They weren't going to be there. So this is Jesus predicting Peter's denial. It says, then Jesus said to them, all of you will be made to stumble me because of me this night. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will go before you to Galilee. Peter said to him, even if all are made to stumble, yet I will not be. Jesus said to him, assuredly, I say to you that today, even this night, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. But he spoke more vehemently, if I have to die with you, I will not deny you. And they all said likewise. So note here, Jesus says that the disciples, the 11, will be scattered at the night of his arrest and will not see him again until after his resurrection. This means that none of the disciples, including the Apostle John, could have been at the cross. So in contrast, the beloved disciple was fearless. Lazarus, having been raised from the dead, would have no reason to fear. So let's look back at our statement here. Behold your mother. So note that Jesus says this to the beloved disciple. Why would Jesus say this to John? We've already come across the mother of Zebedee's sons in another gospel. This is Matthew 20. It says, then the mother of Zebedee's sons came to him with her sons, kneeling down and asking something from him. And he said to her, what do you wish? She said to him, grant that these 2 sons of mine may sit, one at your right hand and the other on your left, in your kingdom. And also, as we mentioned earlier, she was at the cross standing afar off. Matthew told us that the mother of Zebedee's children was there standing afar off. But in contrast, Lazarus likely had no mother. Luke tells us that it happened as they went, that he entered a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his words. We know that this is Lazarus' sisters. So Lazarus likely had no mother because he lived with his sisters at his sister's house. Lazarus and Martha and Mary would be more available than John to care for Mary. There's nothing wrong with having another Mary around the house anyway. John already had a mother, and it appears that she was already a handful. I say that half jokingly, but she did seem to get involved in her son's affairs. Additionally, Matthew tells us that she was standing far off from the cross. So the question comes, why wouldn't the Apostle John be with his mother rather than with Jesus' mother? And we already know that John was very close to his mother. Another question would be, why would Jesus burden James, John, and Zebedee's wife with another woman in the house anyway? This kind of sounds like trouble. And from the other aspect, why would Jesus put Mary, his mother, through the drama of having to live in an already full house? So consider, it makes much more sense to deduce from the passage that Lazarus is the beloved disciple rather than the Apostle John. Lazarus would have had no fear in being seen at the cross. Lazarus, as we said, likely had no mother or maybe even a father, and he'd be more available to offer care for Mary. John, according to the prophecy, could not even have been at the cross, but if you wanted to hypothetically or try to put him there, he or any other disciple had not shown this level of compassion for Mary prior to this event. And the Apostle John was labeled one of the sons of thunder. This spoke of their spirit. This isn't exactly the spirit of a caregiver, someone that Jesus would have wanted to put his mother into their care. And also John's mother, as we mentioned, was present at the cross. So why wouldn't John have been with her if he was even going to be at the cross, which again, the prophecy said he couldn't. So scorecard, the evidence continues to build up against the theory that the Apostle John is the beloved disciple, yet the evidence continues to build up in favor of Lazarus being the beloved disciple who wrote the fourth gospel. I hope that was convincing to you, but stay tuned. We've got more episodes to come. As always, questions, comments, and objections are welcome as we go through this together. The next episode to be determined. There's probably going to be 3 or 4 more episodes in our investigation. But until then, contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints, and God bless.